everyone! So it is Friday and it is time for Ask Me Anything. So ask us anything for Intrepid English. And I'm sorry for the delay, but we had slight technical issues. It's all getting sorted and we are learning and improving every week. So today I want to talk about something that a lot of people think is simple. But actually, it's more complicated than a lot of people realize. And I actually had an native English friend call me this week and asked me for her company, for their advertising, what was the correct way because she didn't know. And I thought it's a simple point, but even native English speakers don't know the rules. So I thought our students, they deserve to know why, and so that they can know for themselves and never make the mistake like native English speakers do. So I want to talk about the indefinite article a and an. Now, you may have been taught at school that we use a for words starting with a consonant, and we use an for words starting with a vowel. It is not that simple. It is more complicated because it's English. So, it's actually not about the spelling. It's about the sounds, the pronunciation of the word. So, for example, you think it's at school, and you're right, and there is an S. But that is actually because of the sound of the word. It's s, so it is a consonant sound. Now, if we take the word hour, which is an H-O-U-R, that's how it's spelt. So the H is a consonant, but we do not say a hour. We say an hour. Why? Because it's the pronunciation. So we don't say hour, we say hour, which is a vowel sound, ow. That's the sound that we hear at the beginning of the word. So the article is an. We can also say with the word honor, H-O-N-O-U-R. So it's H-O-N-O-R when it's an American spelling, but I'm British, so I spell with the U. Now, honor is the same in that the vowel sound that we hear at the beginning, it's not h. So it's not a consonant sound, it's a vowel sound. So it's an honor to be talking to you today, this Friday, live with Intrepid English. Okay? Now you think, oh, so all words that are spelt H-O-R, so we don't pronounce the H. It is not that simple in English, I'm afraid. Let's take the word hospital. Again, it starts with H-O, but we pronounce the consonant, we pronounce the H. So it's hospital. So we say a hospital, not an hospital, a hospital. We can take the word whole. Again, H-O-L-E. But we pronounce the consonant H. So it's a consonant sound. So it's a whole. Okay? Let's take different spelling completely. So no longer on H and O. Let's start with university. Now, we spell university with a U. U-N-I-V-E-R-S-I-T-Y. But listen closely. Do you hear university or do you hear university? So we say university. So the first sound we hear is a y, which is a consonant sound. So we say a university, even though the spelling is with a U, which is a vowel. And we can take another word starting with a vowel, the spelling with a vowel, but the pronunciation is with a consonant sound, and that's one. One. We don't say so one as in the number one, O-N-E. We don't say own. We say one, and so the first sound we hear is a w. one. So we would say a one-man band. So for example, if you are a one-man band, it's when you do everything yourself. So if you have seen the film Mary Poppins and how Bert at the beginning, he's playing with the instruments on his head, he's got the drums on his back, he's with his feet, he's clanging with his hands. His whole body is making music because he is a one-man band. So if you start a new business and it's just you, you are a one-man band. You do the marketing, the accounting, you do the actual content, you do everything. So that's just a little extra, the meaning of one-man band. But we say a one-man band, not an one-man band. That is just wrong. Now, let me give you a couple of examples of when we have a word starting with consonants, but we do not pronounce them that way. We pronounce it with a vowel sound. So, for example, some of you will know, many of you will know the qualification that you can get called MBA, which is a Master's in Business and Administration, I think. But it's after you've done a degree, and then you do a Master's, which can be in business, which is called an MBA. It's the letters M, B. Ooh. Well, I hope that's the right direction for you guys, but MBA. Now, when we pronounce the letter M, we don't say M, we say M. So the first sound we hear is a M, which is a vowel sound. So we say an MBA. An MBA. And then this is also the same for the final word I'm going to give you, which was the reason my friend called me. So her company were going to write on their huge advertising campaign, a HB pencil. You know that you can have HB. I don't know what the HB stands for, I'm afraid. And we do not say a HB pencil because her company thought because it was an H, they thought it had to be an A. But when you listen to the pronunciation of H, it's H, A. It's a vowel sound. So it's an HB pencil. Okay? So now you know you are better than even some native English speakers because you know why we use a sometimes and we use an other times. And it is all about the sounds. If it is a consonant sound, it is a. If it is a vowel sound, it is an. Okay, so what I would love is for you to write some examples of where the spelling might be a word with a consonant, but because the sound is a vowel sound, you have an. And the other way around, if the spelling is with a vowel, but the sound is with a consonant, I would love you to write a. So give me some examples down in the comments below. And I am going to write all of the words that I gave and the reasons why on this post so that you also have it written as well. So that's all from me today, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.